Sri Madhava Mahotsava, written by Srila Jiva Goswamipada. Bestowal of gifts. In her in status as the newly enthroned Queen of Vrindavana, Radha wanted to distribute gifts to all. Radha stole the hearts of the citizens with her mercy, just as the moon, wanting to distribute its nectar, shines everywhere and melts the moonstone. First, Radha gave Purnamasi a small box made of buds, engraved with her name and filled with flowers. The jewel of her affection was enough to satisfy the brahmacharis, but Radha gave them a multitude of real jewels. Though giving one jewel to each would have been sufficient, Radha gave each one as many as he could carry. While distributing the jewels, Radha's effulgence expanded and seemed to follow after each brahmachari. The brahmacharis were most satisfied with Radha's wealth of humility than the gifts given by generous sponsors. While giving gifts to the brahmacharis, Radha glanced at Krishna, indicating that she was offering him as well. In this way, they achieved the highest realization. Madhumangala, Krishna's comic friend, took a jeweled bowl and began throwing it around in a drunken stupor. When a gopi called out to him, "Madhu," he replied by offering her some honey on her tongue. Radha made her Sakis say, "O Brahmana, please ask for your desired treasure." Folding his hands respectfully, Madhumangala said, "Please give me your most dear treasure." The Sakis laughed at Madhu's response, but Radha, bound by the request, frowned in such a way that Krishna became bewildered and had to take the support of Madhumangala. Taking a garland, Radha said, "O Madhumangala, take your gift." Madhumangala said, "Swasti, so be it," and took Krishna. While embracing Krishna by the neck, he danced in such a way that Krishna also seemed to be dancing. Pulling the clothes from their heads and looking sideways at Krishna's boyfriends, the Saki laughed. Restraining his laughter, Ujjvala said to Krishna, who now had composed himself, "Friend, you have become thin by standing so long. Please sit down." In this way, Krishna's friends spoke clever words to joke with the Sakis. Blessings to Radha. Radha, please enjoy this kingdom of Vrindavan which is served by Purnamasi. Directed by Purnamasi, the chief elders gave their blessings to Radha. While giving blessings, their own prosperity increased. After the Abhishek, Radha gave the order, "Let all prisoners, bound creatures, be liberated." When Radha said this, an astounding event occurred. Krishna became bound up. Upon hearing this blessing of liberation for all creatures, the Sakis, bound by love to Radha, shook in fear. As there were no bound-up creatures, the birds and beasts assisting in the pastimes were liberated. But even they could not give up their internal bondage of prema. Radha's bathing pacified the world and removed all disturbances. Thus, there was no one to be punished. When Radha thought of satisfying the worthy candidates for charity, the rivers began to flow with various types of juice, rasa, and the mountains yielded gems. When Radha gave the order to relieve creatures of their burden, the opposite happened. The trees increased their burden by giving honey and flowers. In this kingdom, the milkless cows gave milk, and the crops spontaneously grew. Previously, Vrindavan had become beautiful when Krishna was bathed, but with Radha's bath, Vrindavan displayed a most astonishing beauty. Proceeding to the spring forest cottage. When Radha, following Purnamasi, entered the grove to receive her clothing and ornaments, it appeared that the moon had risen on the eastern mountain to decorate the stars. Putting Krishna and the heavenly women first, the all-worshipable Purnamasi made her way to the grove, which was showered with flowers and praised by the Sakis. Radha, surrounded by the Sakis, followed behind Krishna. She looked like the moon, surrounded by the stars, being approached by a dark cloud. The Sakis surrounding Radha brought her to the central chamber of the spring forest cottage in the Madhavi grove, on the path indicated by Vrinda. Radha, like spring personified, illuminated the room and worshipped Vishnu according to the rules. The heavenly women laughed and Krishna smiled in embarrassment. Sitting Radha on a cushion upon an ivory seat, they seated themselves around her. The Puja. Purnamasi offered Madhuparka, for the astrological texts say that the moon is satisfied by offering of milk with ghee. Then Radha worshipped her, Guru, Purnamasi, and Chaya and Sanya, the Gurus, for those knowledgeable of the planets. The beauty of Radha. In fear of Radha's beauty, infamy fled here and there, and finally took shelter of the moon to become its spots. Desiring to hear Radha's glories, Rati did not die along with her husband Cupid, when he was burned by Shiva's glance. In his man's body, Cupid felt himself unfit for Radha's service, so he made Shiva get angry and burn up his male body. Just as the ocean increases when the moon appears, The beauty of Krishna increases upon seeing the incomparable beauty of Shri Radha. The beauty of Radha's limbs turns base metals into gold, and her kumkum transforms into silver and pearls when smeared on the bodies of the Pulinda women. Seeing their reflection, Radha's limbs said, "What is the use of ornaments? We are the ornaments." Radha's limbs make Krishna's own limbs begin to sweat, for in the presence of a person with qualities, a person of similar qualities will develop affection. The Munis continually praise the beauty of Radha, which stills even the heart of Hari. Radha's beauty is such that the creepers of spring and the spring season combine to manifest many eyes in the form of flowers. As Radha sat in the kunja, her golden beauty combined with her fragrance to bewilder the bees, and seemed to spread everywhere as the Yamuna and Manasaganga waved chamaras. The beauty of Radha was dignified by the raised umbrella, which even when lowered defeated the moon's beauty. Admiring the matchless beauty of Radha, the thirsty Sakis, praised even by the heavenly women, whose eyes never blink, desired to have unblinking eyes. Overwhelmed by Radha's splendid beauty, everyone present, including Krishna and the cowherd boys who stood to Radha's left, Purnamasi and the elder women who stood in front, and the heavenly women who stood on the right, sank in an ocean of tears. Radha's beauty was such that the Sakis waiting to dress and decorate her became similarly decorated with her beauty. Heavenly women dress Radha. When the dressing began, Krishna's beautiful face was also reflected, for that beauty is the clothing for Radha's limbs. Seeing that the heavenly women were eager to decorate Radha, the Sakis said, "Please bless Radha with your touch." Sandhya, the daughter of Vishwakarma, dressed Radha's hair, and by doing this, her inherent qualities as daughter of Vishwakarma doubled. The Sakis again created privacy by creating a wall around Radha. Though Radha became invisible to Hari's eyes, she was visible in his mind. Radha's unbound hair extended down to her hips in a wide array. The place became attractive with the items collected for dressing her hair. The cloud of black hair seemed to shower flowers. Conquering the effulgence of a black cloud, it spread out haphazardly like conflicting waves in the Yamuna. When that hair spread its fragrance, the sparrows of Krishna's inhalations fluttered. Radha's hair was soft, even without oil, and though uncombed, it was radiant. Combing, cleaning, and dressing were unnecessary. Sangya rubbed Radha's hair with a fine cloth and separated the strands using the edge of a jeweled comb. The combination of hair and comb was like long-lasting lightning flashing in storm clouds. Using her hands, Sangya made a part which produced the height of beauty. She then braided Radha's hair, by which Mukunda's mind became bound. Decorated with gems and flowers, the braid was like a creeper, over which the bee-like eyes of the Sakis hovered. When she placed a peacock feather at the base of Radha's braid, she sealed Krishna's heart with love. Radha's flowered hair braid was as attractive as the quiver of Cupid, which holds flower arrows of love. By this, Radha acquired a new weapon to conquer Ajita, the unconquerable Hari. Whatever bliss Sangya attained by her service was also attained by Chaya, her co-wife, since they were one in heart. Smelling Radha's head, Sangya withdrew and Chaya continued the work. Chaya finished combing Radha's hair, applied scented oil, garlands and jewels, which glittered like stars in the night sky. When Chaya applied Sindura on top of Radha's head, it appeared that Cupid's arrow had pierced Krishna's heart and stained it red. When Chaya offered a great jewel to Radha's hair part, it lighted up Krishna's lotus eyes. She then placed a crown atop Radha's hair, which possessed the light of the sun and the moon. As the stars and moon appear in the red tinged evening sky, from the edge of Radha's red cloth the crest jewel glittered like stars, and her face shone like the moon. Chaya Devi then said, "Later I will apply tilak."